Hi, Jack Canfield here again. Welcome to another segment of Talking About Success. I'm here with Judith Trustone, who is one of the most inspiring, committed, passionate, focused persons I've ever met in my life. I think has done more in your lifetime than 10 people would normally accomplish. She's written numerous books, and we'll talk about a couple of those in a moment. And she's starting a kindness revolution. She is a social change agent, an advocate for prison reform, for many, many things. And one of the people that every time I'm with her, I'm going like, I am with like a grand dame of, you are an elegant, amazing person who is committed to all the good things in the world. So it's a pleasure to be with you sitting here in the studio again. So welcome.
I'm so glad to be with you.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
They call me Mama Justice, by the way.
Mama Justice, Mama Justice. And they call you that because you've been working in prisons for a lot of years.
Yeah.
You wrote a book called Selling, that's C-E-L-L, like prison cell, Selling the Soul of America.
Yeah.
I've not read the book cover to cover, but I've leafed through it, and it's a very profoundly moving book because you're telling the stories, or you've brought together people telling their own stories about their incarceration experiences. And I also am a big believer in that the way we're doing prisons doesn't work, and I know you are too. So how did you get into this work in prisons? And tell us a little about that in your book, and then we'll talk about your kindness revolution as well.
Well, I had been an activist, and I was actually working on prison change. And I was invited to teach some creative writing courses in prisons. And I've never been in a prison, but I thought, well, I'm a writer, I'll get, good background and maybe some stories. So I said, okay, so I went in and I started doing what I do. And in the process of the course that I was teaching, 4 of the 15 students came to me and said, I'm innocent. And I said, right, sure you are, show me, because we all have this thing that everybody claims innocence, they don't. So I said, show me, and they brought me their cases. I went to lawyers who were supportive of what I was doing, and I said, look these over. And they all said, were it not for prosecutorial misconduct, inadequate representation, or time-barred testimony, none of these guys would be in here. I did my research and I learned that 50,000 innocent people a year come to prison.
Wow.
And it like cracked me open, like Sister Helen Prejean says. And I just felt it was my mission to wake up people about what was going on in prisons. This is not acceptable in a civilized society. I won't go into the statistics because, anyway, so I started to gather their stories together. And word got out, we had a snitch in the class, and the guards started to harass me. And eventually they wanted to do a full-body search, and I said, no, that's rape, I'm quitting. But I continued to work on the book. And when the book came out, it was immediately banned, and I've been banned.
When it was banned, say more about how was it banned and by whom?
The Department of Corrections has a printout, computer printout, this thick, with books and articles that are banned. Like if you got a magazine and it had a figure of Venus de Milo in it, they would ban it.
So it's banned in the prisons is what you're saying? Okay, got it.
In all of the prisons. So, but it became sort of an underground sensation. The effect on prisoners and their families was so profound. I asked them in the second half of the book, after their stories, to tell me their vision of what kind of a new system would work. And if they had the ability without any, financial, political, or legal restrictions, what kind of a new system would they build from the ground up? And the conclusion was, with my giving a language to it, that we need community-based houses of healing. And I consider myself a restorative healer, both for individuals and communities. We also looked at what other countries do. I mean, we should be ashamed of our American criminal justice system. We all know it's broken. There's nobody saying, oh, this is a great system. And yet we continue to, in Pennsylvania, where I'm from, spend an average of $47,000 a year to keep people in prison and $12,000 to educate.
I know.
So what I did was I began publishing books of literary and social merit by people in prison.
Oh, nice.
And I guess maybe we did a dozen books, or I did. And just the profound effect that had on both the people, their families, and the people who read the books really was amazing. And out of that, I decided to make some documentaries. I've had a lifelong dream. I became a documentary filmmaker at age 70.
Good for you.
And so I made 2 documentaries, and the information is available on the website. But out of that whole thing, one night I was teaching in another prison where I wasn't banned, and I gave them a homework assignment to write a note when they saw either another prisoner or a staff person doing something kind, to say thank you for kindness and give it to them. I didn't know if they would do it, and it seemed like kind of a way out thing to try. And they did it. And the guards, the female guards in the schoolhouse, came up and they hugged me and they said, "This is incredible. You know, we had basically a nanosecond of kindness in such an environment." And I was talking to a group of lifers that I was consulting with through the mail or the phone. And they said, "That's what we need. There's never any kindness here in prison." So they worked with me to create kindness cards. Thank you for your kindness. And every Saturday at 4 o'clock, we have a virtual kindness circle where people in prison are locked down and people on the outside, not necessarily families, are in a community kindness circle and sending the light of kindness into the prisons, into refugee camps and hospitals.
Beautiful.
So we have 100,000 in English in America. We have a Spanish version in 3 South American countries. And I'm working on other languages. We have somebody that wants to take it to Afghanistan, so I'm getting a Farsi translation. And somebody wants to do a German translation. And anyway, my vision, there are 91 countries that have so-called kindness projects. 91. I didn't even know there were 91 countries.
Yeah, 181 or something like that.
Oh my God, where are they? So my vision is ultimately to create first a national network of kindness projects, and then connect with the kindness projects in other countries so that we will all create a whole new kind of vibration of kindness as opposed to the violence and the hatred and all that. And the Kindness Circle, I made a half-hour training DVD, which is on YouTube, how to create a kindness circle.
How to create a kindness circle on YouTube. People can watch that. Good.
Yeah.
Great.
And then hopefully they'll try it, because the kindness raises your serotonin and oxytocin levels, so we get, the happy hormones rise in both the person doing the kindness and those receiving it, those hearing about it, or even reading about it.
And I think I've seen recently those even witnessing it.
Yes.
Yeah, are uplifted. Yeah.
And so it's, and of course, we know what violence does to the body. So it seems to me that everybody needs kindness.
Vitamin K.
Vitamin K.
There you go.
Yeah, that's great. I'm going to start
Good.
using that.
Please.
So I'm hoping that people will look at the video, get kindness cards distributed, because we've now given 300,000 of these out.
Wow, that's great.
And but we need funding, as everyone does. And so I'm seeking funding now. We have a site on GoFundMe for the project. So that's kind of where I'm at. And
Well, you're at a very good place. You're doing really great stuff. I love it.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about all the people out there watching this, and I really would encourage you to do 2 things. If you have any interest in the criminal justice system and justice in general, if you've got a family member who's ever been in or is in a correctional facility of any kind, I would recommend reading this book, Selling the Soul of America.
Selling America's Soul.
Selling America's Soul, C-E-L, selling. And then also, I would encourage people to get to your website, and the website again is?
It's www.trustonekindness, all one word, .com.
Trust1kindness,
Yeah.
all dot, okay,
Which is a play on my name and kindness.
Oh, 'cause
Trustone Kindness.
Trustone Kindness. Okay,
Yeah.
good. And if you're really moved by watching this, I would encourage you to donate some dollars to her cause, because this is a woman out there doing great work. And if you're looking for someone to recommend to the CNN Hero of the Year, you might think about this woman and her work as well. You are truly one of the unsung heroes of the American culture. I appreciate getting to know you. I've met some wonderful people, and you know, I'm thinking of Maya Angelou and people like that, and you're right up there with the same level of compassion and caring and articulateness. So it's an honor to know you. Thank you for joining me today. You go to her website and get involved. So until next time, I want you to go out there and create the life of your dreams, just like she's helping create the life of her dreams and also empowering others to create theirs as well. See you next time.
Thanks. We're going to touch the world, touch the world, touch the world with love. You and me are going to be free when we can touch the world with love. We're going to touch the world, touch the world, touch the world with love. You and me are going to be free when we can touch the world with love. We're going to touch the world, touch the world, touch the world with love. You and me are going to be free when we can touch the world with love. We're going to touch the world, touch the world, touch the world with love. You and me are going to be free when we can touch the world with love. We're going to touch the world, touch the world, touch the world with love. You and me are going to be free when we can touch the world with love. We're going to touch the world, touch the world, touch the world with love. You and me are going to be free when we can touch the world with love. We're going to touch the world, touch the world, touch the world with love. You and me are going to be free when we can touch the world with love. We're going to touch the world, touch the world, touch the world with love. You and me are going to be free when we can touch the world with love.